You are watching KEVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman.
And I'm Trenton Whiting.
Police in Michigan are investigating a deadly mass shooting at a Grand Blanc Township church. It happened Sunday around 10:30 a.m. local time at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
At least 2 people are dead and 8 others are hospitalized. Jen Sullivan has details on this developing story.
A Sunday morning service turning to horror when police say a man armed with an assault rifle opened fire inside a church in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan.
We have an active shooter at the church. I need manpower up here ASAP. I have people trapped in the building. Repeat, people trapped in the building. We got a shooter inside too.
That frantic 911 call alerting police to an active shooter at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, about 55 miles northwest of Detroit.
He rammed the vehicle through the front door, exited, then started firing shots.
Police say multiple people were shot, and the gunman was killed by 2 law enforcement officers. Adding to the terror, police say the shooter then set fire to the church.
We believe that was deliberately set by the suspect.
The horrific act shocking this community of about 40,000 people.
This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community.
Neighbors watching in disbelief as thick smoke billows from the church.
I'm completely distraught. This was a quiet neighborhood. You know, we've never seen anything like this.
As this community grapples with grief, the church website now reads closed. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
A bomb squad was assessing a suspicious item that was found on the church property. A source familiar with the incident told CNN.
And President Donald Trump reacting to the shooting on Truth Social, saying, quote, "This appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians in the United States of America. The Trump administration will keep the public posted, as we always do. In the meantime, pray for the victims and their families. This epidemic of violence in our country, it must end immediately."
And that'll lead us to our viewer poll for this evening. We ask you, what do you think is the most effective way to improve security at places of worship? More police presence, security cameras and alarms, armed security personnel, or community watch programs? And a little bit of a change from our earlier show this afternoon, about 51% moving to community watch programs. That is now moved into the lead, leaving behind armed security personnel, which is now down to 44% of our voters selecting those options. Thank you for participating in our viewer poll. This is obviously a sad situation, and people are trying to game plan how to improve on stuff like this, but thank you for participating. It's not too late. You can come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. Well, ranchers are becoming more concerned about the presence of New World's screwworm in Mexico. We recently reported that screwworm was as close as 70 miles from the southern border, which has already been closed to livestock trade from Mexico. Ranchers are preparing themselves for the approach of screwworm flies, and official organizations are giving tips to local ranchers to spot these flies. We spoke with an expert some time ago who spoke on how ranchers can keep an eye on their animals to see if they've been affected by screwworm.
Animals will act different when they have an infestation of larva because, this is literally a live set of insects feeding on a live animal. So they say they do see a lot of head shaking going on with especially wildlife because they usually do target the head. You may see animals that are hiding in a sense or staying away from the rest of the herd. So there is some behavioral changes. There's also a really bad smell that goes with the fact that the larvae are in there. I've heard great details about that, not yet experienced it, but the smell can be very distinct.
Experts say the only way to know for sure an animal is affected by screwworm is by looking closely for any open wounds or evidence of larvae on the animal. There are concerns about the effect to the livestock market and beef prices if screwworm does make it into the U.S. We've reached out to the USDA to hear more about the next steps to their response.
Now let's go to Jacob Lozano with the first look at our forecast. Now, Jacob, the weather has been warm and then cold and then warm and cold. Yep. That can also cause hurricanes unless it's either increasing or decreasing. So let's go to Jacob Lozano to get us any updates on our weather this week.
That's right, Amaya. We are towards the end of the peak of hurricane season here. We are just finally on that downslope there. We're getting right close to October 1st there, and that'll kind of help balance out. November 1st is typically when we start to really see it die off there for us here within the tropics. But as of right now, the tropics are very active right now. We have Right now, major hurricane Humberto, that was a Category 5 at one point with over 160-mile-per-hour winds, currently at 140-mile-per-hour winds. Unfortunately, there's a frontal system that came through the crossroads and that continued out east. It's actually going to help steer this back out, but going to be watching that Bermuda area, unfortunately, because there's actually another hurricane that could also impact that area. And this is Imelda as a tropical storm right now with 40-mile-per-hour winds. And it's looking like it's going to catch that frontal system as well, get pushed out as a Category 1 storm. But we're also talking about the Pacific. We have a 20% development over the next 7 days here, and then 90% over the next 7 days, 50% over the next 48 hours. But then we also have the remnants there of NARDA, and actually those remnants are actually putting a lot of moisture out towards West Texas. But we're going to be talking about rain chances as well as what our weekend is or week's going to be looking like coming up in the full weather report. Trenton?
Thank you, Jacob. Well, 3 people killed and at least 8 more injured after a gunman opened fire into a crowd at a Riverside bar in Southport, North Carolina late last night.
Officials say they have identified the suspect and say this appears to have been a targeted attack and there is no further danger to the community. Here's ABC's Faith Abube with the details.
A quiet evening of music and drinks quickly turning to tragedy.
Evil has come ashore in Southport, North Carolina.
City officials say someone on a boat traveling on the Cape Fear River opened fire on the American Fish Company, a waterfront bar in Southport, North Carolina, about 40 minutes south of Wilmington.
The subject on the boat shooting into the building from the boat.
The suspect fleeing with the boat, authorities eventually arresting him at a boat access in nearby Oak Island.
Shortly after 10 p.m., the Coast Guard observed a single individual matching the description of the shooter. Coast Guard crews detained the suspect.
Police have identified the suspect as Nigel Edge, a resident of Oak Island.
He's been arrested and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. There are additional charges pending.
Investigators say this appears to be a highly premeditated attack by a lone wolf actor, adding that many of the victims were visitors on vacation. Police say the suspect has identified himself as a combat veteran who suffers from PTSD. He's being held without bond and set to appear before a judge on Monday. Faith Abube, ABC News, Southport, North Carolina.
A stowaway was found dead in the landing gear of an American Airlines plane that arrived in Charlotte from Europe Sunday morning. Police say maintenance crews discovered the body around 9 a.m. at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. American Airlines says it's working with law enforcement as the investigation continues. Flight operations were not impacted, but officials have not released a stowaway identity or where the flight originated.
When it comes to money, many Americans are choosing to invest in the stock market. And information from the Federal Reserve shows 45% of households' financial assets in the second quarter of this year were invested in stocks. Some of those investments are part of mutual funds or retirement plans that Americans own. The Fed's data shows this is the highest investment in stocks than ever before. And economists say while many Americans might be happy about their holdings, they see potential problems. They say a market downturn could hit Americans' finances pretty hard, in part because it comes at a time when the labor market is fragile and inflation is still sticking around. Economists also warn that wealthy Americans are benefiting right now from stock investments, and wealthy Americans in turn help drive the economy. They make up nearly 50% of consumer spending. But for poorer Americans, reports show they are constantly under strain. And if there is a market slump, wealthier Americans might pull back from stocks and cut their spending, and that would hurt the overall economy. A first for Texas higher education, the Texas Tech University system has ordered faculty across its 5 universities to limit classroom discussion of transgender and non-binary identities. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com.
The Victoria County Commissioner Court is set to meet Monday at 10 a.m. inside room 241 of the Victoria County Courthouse, with several key items on the agenda. Commissioners are expected to consider awarding bids for the annual supply contract for gasoline, diesel fuel, and dyed diesel fuel. Also on the agenda, approval of the Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission's solid waste grant program, along with considerations of a victim assistance grant for the Victoria County Criminal District Attorney Office. Officials say additional items will also be discussed.
For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
A possible government shutdown is just days away. What Congress and President Trump are doing to try to keep the lights on next.
The temperatures today got to 91 degrees, 2 degrees above average for this time of the year, but look at that low, 63 this morning. Quite nice. We see some cooler temperatures tomorrow morning, but we are looking at some possible rain chances towards the end of the week, and I'll be talking about that coming up.
Welcome back. Lawmakers have until late Tuesday to pass a spending bill or face a government shutdown. Top leaders in Congress will meet with President Trump Monday at the White House to try to stop a government shutdown. Democrats say they won't agree unless a program that helps millions pay for health insurance continues. Trump recently canceled a meeting, calling their demands unserious and ridiculous. Even though Republicans control Congress, they still need help from 7 Democrats in the Senate to pass a spending bill. The White House has also told federal agencies to get ready for possible layoffs.
Now to President Trump sending troops to another American city, Portland, Oregon.
ABC's News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, President Trump declares he's deploying troops to Portland, Oregon. Trump posting, "I'm directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I'm also authorizing full force if necessary." Hours before the president's announcement, Portland's Democratic mayor warned the city is already seeing a surge in federal agents.
We did not ask for them to come. They are here without clear precedent or purpose.
State leaders urging residents to stay calm.
The president has sent agents here to create chaos. Our job is to say we are not going to take the bait.
The Department of Homeland Security claims protesters have repeatedly attacked and laid siege to an ICE processing center in Portland.
Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing. But it's anarchy out there.
Protests flaring up in major cities as immigration raids continue following a shooting at a Dallas ICE facility that left 1 detainee dead and 2 others seriously wounded. Trump blames Antifa for the attack, signing an executive order designating it a domestic terrorist organization. But the order carries no legal weight, and Antifa is an ideology, not an organization. As Attorney General Pam Bondi declares, Justice Department agents will be sent to ICE facilities to safeguard federal agents.
Anyone who threatens or assaults our federal officers will be arrested and charged federally.
Trump has already sent National Guard troops to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., and this week ordered troops to Memphis, Tennessee.
President Trump is taking aim at former FBI Director Christopher Wray. On Saturday, Trump accused Wray of lying about FBI agents being present during the January 6th attack, claiming without evidence that agents acted as agitators. A Justice Department watchdog has said no undercover FBI agents were at the Capitol, though 26 paid informants were in Washington that day. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries called Trump's remarks a lie. The comments come days after former FBI Director James Comey was indicted, charges he denies.
Fall vacations may be cruising into some big savings. Prices are dropping, and here's how you can take advantage.
When I'm on vacation, I want less of this and more of this.
This morning, if you're dreaming of sunshine and savings, fall might be the perfect time to set sail. With kids back in school and fewer crowds at popular destinations, cruise lines are rolling out deals to fill those cabins.
Deals are really common this time of year. Ships continue to get bigger and bigger, and so there are more berths or rooms on board that need to be filled. And so the opportunity to find a really good deal exists.
So why are we seeing such good deals? Well, Cruise Critic says that it's a mix of factors. Ships are larger, fewer international tourists are coming into the U.S., so there's less competition for spots, and it's shoulder season, that quiet window after summer when fewer people are traveling. According to the Cruise Critic, prices are down across the board to the Caribbean, Mexico, the Bahamas, even the Mediterranean. In November, the average cost for a 7-night cruise to Mexico is down nearly 30% compared to last year.
Anything under $100 per person per night is a good deal. The great thing about fall is you can see some of these prices dropping to less than $50 per person per night, which suddenly makes it a really terrific deal.
So check out this deal, a 4-night cruise from Fort Lauderdale to the Bahamas in early October, just $61 per person per night for interior rooms, or a 6-day cruise from LA to the Mexican Riviera starting at $38 per person per night.
Looking at an older ship often can save you a lot of money. They might not have the big water slides or, the go-kart tracks, that kind of thing, but they're solid ships and they come with wonderful restaurants. They have great entertainment and they still take you to all the wonderful ports. So you can actually save a good amount of money by looking at an older ship versus a newer one.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus.
I wonder if those tropical storms have any issues with the price drop in the cruises. But we're going to be talking about the United States as well as the area in the Crossroads coming up after this. Welcome back, Crossroads. High pressure currently dominates our region here in Texas as well as the Crossroads region. We are starting to get a little bit more of an easterly flow with it, but we can look out west here towards the Arizona region where there was quite a bit of flooding here from this mid-upper level low that's kind of been just sitting around the California region. We can just see the counterclockwise rotation within the clouds and the shower activity, as well as it's grabbing moisture off of NARDA, which were the remnants of it as a post-tropical cyclone. But we're also watching here in the Gulf for this surface low pressure that's going to be giving a little bit of shower activity down around the Brownsville area, maybe some area in the Corpus region, giving about a 10% chance for rain there. But high pressure is going to be the big conversation for these next couple of days as we go to the mid-upper level map here. High pressure up north, high pressure down south, high pressure out west, and then 2 mid-upper level lows. It's going to kind of help form an omega block there within the high pressure systems. And this area right here could help reinforce that northerly wind there. Really not looking at a frontal system, but more of a layer, a boundary layer that's going to kind of push a little bit of cloud cover over the region. But once this high pressure finally shrinks down here, and the mid-upper level low stalls around the Mississippi, Alabama area, that'll actually reopen our rain chances for us here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, as well as watching this area right here for maybe another possible frontal system here that we could watch for the following week, but that's still a little bit of ways away. But taking a look at the future tracker here, there's that mid-upper level low up north. There's that boundary layers of cloud cover. So cloud cover will be picking up here Monday night into Tuesday morning. Really just looking at shower activity down south, not really looking into the crossroads. I'm not really giving it that 10% chance just yet, but it's more than likely going to be farther down south, especially with the association of that low pressure out there in the Gulf. But here's where we're going to be watching. Clear skies. It's going to be quite nice, a little bit on the warmer side, but that mid-upper level low that moved out west is going to be stalling over the region. That's going to kind of help bring in some moisture for us here, as well as that high pressure shrinking down. And rain chances do return here Friday afternoon and as well as into Saturday for us. So not looking out like we're going to have a whole complete dry week, but we are going to be seeing some isolated shower activity, maybe a couple little thunderstorms associated with that. But temperatures tomorrow morning will be quite cool, 64 degrees, but they are going back up into the 90s for our daytime high there. 91 is where we're having it at right now. And well, we can say the same thing for Tuesday as well. 67 is going to be a little bit warmer in the morning, getting to about 80 degrees by around lunchtime and getting to 92 for the high for us. So enjoy it while it's here. We're getting closer to winter. We got some more quote-unquote fall-like weather, but it's still relatively feeling summer-like with these 90-degree temperatures. But it's going to be mostly sunny through all 3 counties, as well as all 3 cities here. So 92 degrees with the east-northeasterly winds. Same there for Cuero. And the next 7 days, going to be pretty relative, mostly sunny skies. The frontal system, or excuse me, the mid-upper level low out east will help draw in some moisture there, and temperatures might go down there for the weekend as well. Now don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And speaking of sports, we got Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. And after beating Mexico City in an international game, we hear from player Isaiah Cabrales, see what he has to say about his speed and more, eventually coming up in sports. Week 5 of CFL saw the Calhoun Sandcrabs turn things around in their homecoming matchup against Mexico City, winning the game, final score 29-0. The team's first win of the season could be a sign of better things to come. The athletic ability utilization is essential when talking about the speed, according to senior corner Isaiah Cabrales.
Having speed, it's really a big advantage. I mean, when people can't run with you, it's a big advantage. But I always got to go up and make the catch, make the plays. That's why my legs are a big part in that. Yeah, all I'm thinking is, I got to go score. I got to do this for us, as a team. This is not just for myself. I can't be greedy. I got to do this for everybody as in the team.
Absolutely, and the Sand Crabs will be on their bye week, but they will begin their district play at home against a team in Livonia, a team that's kind of been, making waves in this area as well. But speaking of Calhoun football, today's sports viewer poll is about Calhoun Sand Crab, and it's not many times around here that you see local teams have the opportunity to compete against international teams in their sport. So, Crossroads, do you think it's a good experience for our athletes to face international competition? Let's see, we say 63% that says yes, 37% that says no. Yeah, I mean, from Oklahoma, we never do hear about a lot of international teams going against our local athletes. So, Calhoun, kudos to them in doing some things that's never been done around here in our area. And hopefully we get to see more of it done. And on to A&M Victoria. The A&M women's soccer team fought hard on the road yesterday and came away with an exciting 2-1 win over Louisiana Christian. Ailani Garcia and Vanessa Bivalin each fired a goal to power the Jaguars to victory. Up next, the Jaguars hit the road again to take on Jarvis Christian this Thursday, October 2nd. Stay tuned. We'll have updates, and it looks to be a great matchup. And the unbeaten 5-0 Aggies keep rocking up the AP polls after a thrilling 16-10 win over the Auburn Tigers yesterday. College football week 6 was packed with surprises, and the Aggies now surged to number 6, just below, the Oklahoma Sooners. Just had to mention that. Jumping 3 spots ahead of the Texas Longhorns with momentum on their side, the Aggies are fired up to host Mississippi State next weekend and defend their top-tier ranking. And let's talk about the NFL. The Houston Texans found their first win against the winless Tennessee Titans. The Texans got off to a good start after finding themselves in the red zone along with being up 6 and a 1st and 10. Stroud does a rollout to Jaquarvius Marks, and he completes the red zone touchdown for Texans to double the lead. Marks finished with 69 yards rushing, leading the team. Meanwhile, Tennessee was unable to respond with a touchdown, a field goal, etc. as they went scoreless. The Texans beat the Titans' final score, 26-0. And can the good luck follow the other Texas team in the Dallas Cowboys? They are battling the Green Bay Packers right now, and as I last checked, the Cowboys are up 3 points. So let's just hopefully see that that's still the case by the end of this newscast. I'm sure when we come back after break, I will have an official score update. But as of the last time that I checked, it was 30-27. The Cowboys will play the Jets next Sunday at 12. But that does it for your sports. Amaya and Trenton.
Thank you, Ray. Free coffee and sweet deals for National Coffee Day, where you can grab a cup next.
Many of us can't start the day without coffee. And Monday is the perfect time to celebrate because it's National Coffee Day, and Dunkin' is giving app users a free medium, hot, or iced coffee. I prefer iced. But Krispy Kreme is also offering everyone a free coffee and donut. No purchase necessary. Starbucks Reward members can earn 100 bonus points with any brewed coffee. Now, I'm a coffee drinker. Don't know about y'all. Any of my energy.
Every now and then. It depends on.
Fair.
Depends.
Fair. Yes. Caffeine or no
yes,
caffeine?
No caffeine. No caffeine.
Oh, yeah, caffeine, but not coffee.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Well, you might have to tomorrow.
So, where do you guys go to get you guys coffee?
Home brewed.
Home brewed?
Little coffee maker.
You go to Bruce?
No.
Oh, okay. So
either some local coffee shop or maybe Starbucks. It just depends on the day.
dude, like, I don't know if y'all ever guys tried Krispy Kreme donuts
No.
coffee.
No, I have not.
They have good coffee.
If I go to Krispy Kreme, I'm getting donuts. I'm not going there to get
It's in the
I
name.
get
Yeah,
both.
it's in the name.
I get both.
It's in the name.
I get both. Like, tell us about the weather. Like, let's go.
How are we enjoying our coffee?
It's not necessarily hot coffee weather, but
Yeah,
maybe
cold
more
weather.
iced coffee weather is how I would describe it. Still going to be in the 90s for the remainder of the week. See a little bit of an uptick there with that high pressure still moving in. But the high pressure shrinks and we have mid-upper level low out towards the Georgia area, and that'll kind of help bring in some shower activity back here for the weekend. But still, we're going to be in the 90s.
Yes. But thank you for joining us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Carolina Estrain and Parker Cox for 25 News Now Sunrise at 5 a.m.